Hey, what up, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. We've got the grades for your second baseman coming up in just a second. Was the Trea Turner trade worth it? We're going to get into that a little bit too. But first, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel for our latest Dodgers news, rumors, hype videos, podcasts, and more. You're going to find it right here. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And as always, I want your takes down below in the comment section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day: what grades do you give for the Dodgers second baseman this year? And also, was the Trea Turner trade worth it? If you go back and do it again, would you trade for Trea? Let me know down below. And for all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So the grades are in, and we've got report cards for your 2021 Dodgers second baseman.
Here's my report card. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
So real quick, let's go over the Dodgers grading scale. A equals elite, B equals baller, C equals average, D equals dude get it together, and F equals #fail. So today we're going to start with Trea Turner. But you know I bring my facts to the fight, so let's take a deep dive into Trea Turner's time with the Dodgers in 2021, and then we'll give you his grade. The Dodgers acquired Trea Turner at the deadline. He was a part of the big Max Scherzer trade. LA traded away their top two prospects, Keibert Ruiz and Josiah Gray, in exchange for Max Scherzer and Trea Turner. And Trea Turner was outstanding in the regular season for the Dodgers. He started 52 of the Dodgers' final 53 games, started 49 games at second base. Now, unfortunately, due to COVID, he didn't play right away. He didn't make his first appearance until he pinch hit on August 6th at home against the Angels, but from then until the end of the regular season, he was second behind Corey Seager pretty much in every single offensive statistical category. He had a .338 batting average, a .385 on base percentage, a .565 slug, a .399 WOBA, a .153 WRC+, a 2.6 F4, and all those were right behind Corey Seager. On the year, he ended up hitting 28 home runs. He had 10 with the Dodgers. He had 34 doubles, 17 with the Dodgers. He led the league with 32 home runs. He led all of Major League Baseball with a .328 batting average, 195 hits. He finished third in all of Major League Baseball with 32 steals, but did lead the National League. He won the batting crown. He was actually the first Dodger to win the batting title while leading the league in stolen bases since Jackie Robinson in 1949. Now, another thing he really did well was he mashed against left-handed pitching. So that was one of the issues with this Dodgers offense, their struggles against southpaws. Well, he raked against lefties. Against lefties, he slashed .365, .421, .808, had a .220 WRC+. So he was great in the regular season, definitely did everything the Dodgers would have hoped for, and then some, but he was a major disappointment in the postseason. In the postseason, he slashed .216, .245, .255, had a .500 OPS. That was good for sixth on the team. He had no home runs, 2 RBIs, had 1 stolen base, had 2 doubles, a walk, and 12 strikeouts. He ends up going 11 for 51, and the Dodgers, they needed him to be that guy. He batted third in 9 of the Dodgers' 12 postseason games, but he just didn't come through. He didn't get those big hits. His at-bat quality was abysmal at times, chasing a lot at pitches out of the strike zone. He just looked lost at the plate. He was especially bad in the NLDS. Against the Giants in the NLDS, he had 136, had a .364 OPS, goes 3 for 22. Picked it up slightly in the NLCS. He did have that multi-hit game there, but he just didn't do enough there, batting in the 3 spot. Now, when it came to defense, Trea made 48 starts at second base, 49 appearances in 436 and 2/3 innings. And if you look at his defensive numbers, he had 5 errors, 3 defensive runs saved. He was 2 outs above average. And make no mistake about it, there were times where Trea looked shaky at second base, but to his credit, he did a nice job reacclimating to a different position. He had played shortstop with the Washington Nationals. That's where he wants to play. That's where he's a Gold Glove caliber shortstop. But Corey Seager, he was manning down that position. They weren't going to trade Seager's position. And also, he made it clear to the organization that he wanted to stay on the dirt. He wanted to play in the infield. He didn't want to play center field, where he had seen some time in the past. And he did his best. He had some great moments as well, but he also had some tough moments against the Giants when he made that tough throw. But all in all, it was about out his offensive contributions in the regular season, and unfortunately, he wasn't able to replicate that success in the postseason. But you did see the star power. You saw what he can do on the base pass. The fastest man in the league that's actually a really good player. A guy that can score from first to third on a single. Electrifying speed, world-class speed from Trea Turner. And you see why the Dodgers are probably going to be interested in extending him and possibly making him another $300 million player one day. Trea Turner and the Dodgers, it really comes down to the regular season Trea and the postseason Trea. Regular season Trea, he was elite. Postseason Trea, he was terrible at times. There's really no way around it, but you have to give him a lot of credit for the spark that he provided in the second half of the season. The Dodgers, a lot of ups and downs up until they acquired Max Scherzer and Trea Turner, and without Trea Turner, they're probably not getting 106 wins. You also had some big moments from Trea. He also played in almost every single game, didn't get any rest. Hey, maybe if the Dodgers had clinched their division earlier and he had some rest, maybe he would have been fresher in the postseason. That's a possibility, but when you look at his career, he has struggled in the postseason, so you really can't say that completely, but it might have helped just a little bit. And you also have to consider that postseason success is very fickle. Just look at Corey Seager. He was a .203 hitter before 2020. Belly was batting under the Mendoza line before he hit his big belly bomb in Game 7 of the NLCS. So you can break out in the postseason, and that doesn't necessarily mean that he won't have future success in October if the Dodgers try to extend him. So for me, I just look at some of his big moments. You had the grand slam against the Brewers late in the year, but my favorite moment when it came to Trea Turner in 2021, it was the smooth slider raider. The slide heard round the world.
And here's the throw from Harper, not in time. You can count on one hand how many guys in this world.
The smoothest slide you'll ever see. But for my grade for Trea Turner for the 2021 season with the Dodgers, I'm going to give him a B. A B for Trea Turner. Look, you can't give him an A considering what he did in the postseason, but he played so well for the Dodgers in the regular season. I'm going to give him a B for 2021 with the Dodgers. An easy A for his regular season contributions, but he really struggled in the postseason. So I'm going to give him a B for 2021. Now, our next grade is going to CT3. Mr. Ock Taylor, he went crazy in the postseason. The paper chaser re-signed with the Dodgers, but let's take a deep dive into his 2021, and then we'll give you his grade. So a really solid regular season for Chris Taylor in 2021. He ends up slashing .254, .344, .438, hit 20 dingers, had 73 ribbies. He had a .338 WOBA, a .113 WRC+. He was clutch, had an .828 OPS with runners in scoring position. He made his first career All-Star game, but really it was a tale of two halves for CT3 last season. In the first half, he slashed .277, .382, .452, had a .130 WRC+. He was third on the team with a 2.5 FWAR. He really carried the Dodgers as they were dealing with so many injuries. He made his first All-Star team, and then the second half, he definitely had his struggles. The second half of the season, Chris Taylor ends up slashing .223, .290, .419, had a 90 WRC+, a .6 WAR, and he just didn't look like the same player. He definitely looked like he was dealing with some fatigue. He had a neck issue that he was dealing with. He went through that 8 for 72 slump before hitting that big walk-off home run, the wild card game, but he more than made up for his second half slump in the postseason. In the postseason, he ended up slashing .351, .419, slugged .784, led the Dodgers with 4 home runs, 12 RBIs. It was Ock Taylor. He hit the walk-off home run against the Cardinals, the first walk-off home run in an elimination game in Dodgers history, the first walk-off home run in an elimination game in Major League Baseball since Encarnacion did it for the Blue Jays back in 2016. And then he had the CT three-peat, the 3-homer game against the Braves in the NLCS. It was the first 3-homer game in elimination game in Major League Baseball history. So an historic postseason for Ock Taylor. And when you consider his positional versatility, his ability to get you big hits, I think he more than delivered in his role for LA. And so, of course, Chris Taylor's moment of the year is easy. It's the wild card walk-off against the Cardinals.
There's swinging a drive, deep left field. This is way back. Walk him off, Chris Taylor.
Now, Now, as far as his grade for the 2021 season, really nice first half. Definitely struggled, a below average offensive player in the second half, and then went crazy in the postseason. Based on the role he plays for the Dodgers, his positional versatility, he is the human Swiss Army knife. I'm going to give him an A- based on what the Dodgers expected out of him in 2021. I would give him an A across the board if he didn't struggle so much in the second half, but really nice first half, struggled in the second half, and went Taylor in the postseason. So an A- for the paper chaser. And now we're going to do some quick ones, starting with Zach McKinstry. So there was so much hype around Z-Mac coming into 2021. Everyone said that, oh, maybe he could fill the shoes of Kike Hernandez. Well, defensively, he was atrocious at times. He didn't look the part. And then offensively, he ends up slashing 215, 263, 405, had a 77 WRC plus, a minus 0.5 F-WAR. If you look at that strikeout rate, 29.1% strikeout rate, of 5.8 walk percentage. He got off to a really nice start. He had an 883 OPS in April, was 16 for 54, had 3 home runs and 5 doubles, but then he had that right oblique strain. He missed 6 weeks, and he just wasn't the same player after that. So for his grade for 2021, I'm going to have to give him a D. Dude, get it together. Now, was it because of the injury? That's a possibility, but he also had some really ugly at-bats. He looked lost at the plate at times, and he also struggled defensively. So a D for Zach McKinstry. Dude, get it together. Now, Max Muncy, we already did with the first baseman, and Gavin Lux, I'm going to save for the shortstop grades. Then you had Sheldon Noisy. He didn't bring very much noise. He had a 33 OPS plus. He had that error against the Marlins in May that really cost him. I got to give him a dude equals get it together. I'm not going to give anyone a fail unless for some other reason I won't get into, but dude equals get it together for Sheldon Noisy. And then, of course, you had Andy Burns, baby Burns. He had no starts. And then, of course, you had Andy Burns, baby Burns. He had 2 starts, 3 appearances, 13 innings. But I'm going to include him when we talk about the pitches. We know he is an elite reliever. Now I'm just messing around. I won't really give him a tough grade. Not many opportunities. Then, of course, Austin Barnes, Mookie Betts, Gavin Lux, and Max Muncy, we're going to include with the other positional grades. But give me your grades down below in the comment section for Trea Turner, Chris Taylor, Zach McKinstry, and Sheldon Noisy. And also, if you go back and do the Trea Turner trade again, would you trade for Trea Turner? Was that trade worth it? Let me know down below in the comment section. My name is D-Mac. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and smash that like button. It really helps out the channel. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.